Welcome, everyone, to Strategy Cast, the podcast where we talk about real world strategy by looking at how businesses plan themselves and do business. So, today's episode is about a local success story, the story of Digital Mobility Solutions Lanka PLC, better known as PICME. So, we'll be looking at how PICME is changing transportation and mobility in Sri Lanka by analyzing their annual report of 2024 to 2025. So, next off, we will be looking at and analyzing their vision, mission, and their strategic goals. So, PICME has a very beautiful vision, the vision to have joyful mobility for a better life. Their rise from a startup to a public company shows how dedicated they are to inclusive innovation. Their strategic plans have embedded elements such as digitizing mobility, giving people the right tools they need to start their own businesses, and further growing into logistics and commerce. So we can successfully say, and we are not wrong to say, that their vision is one which is very aspirational, purposeful, and it's a vision that guides all stakeholders to the successful paths of the company. So, if we are to talk more about how the company is growing, we can actually do an analysis of their internal and external environments to figure out how much of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats the company has, and to see how the external factors are affecting the company as a whole. So, starting off with assessing the external environment of the company, we can say that they leverage on macro opportunities, such as the increasing smartphone usage of people in Sri Lanka. People are increasingly relying and depending on smartphone usage, and the increased e commerce adoption. People are growing more into innovation, technology. These are not anything alienated to Sri Lankans anymore. And also they are working on utilizing the India Sri Lanka digital ties, which they have encompassed by taking on hands with PhonePe, which we will be discussing further into our podcast. And on the other hand, looking at the company internally, their tech platform itself, their data-driven capabilities, and the brand recognition of PICME provides the company with the necessary strengths to lead their strategy into a successful way forward. So, without further ado, we would be looking at the resources and the capabilities of PICME. So PICME can be definitely identified as one of the largest data aggregators in Sri Lanka. So apart from companies such as Dialog, Mobitel, and all these telecommunication providers, PICME also has a great deal of information of people. So looking at the resources of the company, their application itself, the IT systems, the driver network, the user base, these are all resources which uplifts the company to greater heights. And also their core competencies. The core competencies of the company is evolving and it revolves around technology. If PICME is there, that is where technology lies. That is what they believe in according to their annual report. So all these competencies which we have seen in their annual report, and to see how the company is growing, we can say that these are all very valuable, rare, inimitable, and non-substitutable resources which they have. So it should also be noted that their data and their platform, and it creates the barriers to entry, because we have seen companies such as UCAB trying to get into the industry, but the barriers are so high and the playing field is so unclear that the company just came into the industry and had to just, vanish in no time. So, evaluating further, we'll look at the competitive strategy of the company. So, we will be using the generic strategy to evaluate how PickMe has gone through this. We can successfully say that PickMe is a best cost provider. That is because PickMe adapts a best cost provider strategy because where they are blending cost efficiency with the differentiated offerings they have. So if we really look into it, what are they doing? Whether it's a tuk, whether it's a mini ride, whether it's a truck, or whether it's a food order, they ensure that the platform provides something quality and in value to the customers at a very, very affordable price. So this is what the company's main aspiration is. So they want to give something valuable to the consumers. They want to create value in the hearts of the consumers, but not at a very expensive rate, but at a rate where everyone could afford to purchase something from PickMe. So moving on, we can also look at the strategic moves and the timing of the company's strategic moves. So PickMe had the luxury of being the first mover in ride hailing. Yes, they were here before Uber as well. And additionally, they also have adopted regional expansion as a strategy to capture as much market share as they could. They have plans to, go into Jaffna and the whole upper region as well in the country. Then they diversified into delivery, rentals, and on-demand truck services, which are, things that other ride-hailing companies are not even imagining at this rate. So it should also be highlighted that the IPO, which was held October last year in 2024, expanded their digital base and the transparency of the company as well. So all in all, if we are to look at the corporate strategy of the company, we can see how they have diversified into others ecosystems as well. So looking at strategic moves such as putting into the world of how they have recreated driver bidding as a solution for the drivers who are looking into high value rides, and how they have created their subscription model, the PickMe Pass subscription, gives us a good insight of how they have looked into the future of the company, the future strategy, and the way forward. So apart from that, another thing which we can look into is the ecosystem. So it has gone beyond rides, it has gone into rentals, it has gone into many other differentiated sectors and untapped markets. So they are leveraging the core technology that they have built upon for the past 10 years to provide the best solutions for their consumers. So looking at all these, we can say that their services which they have provided so far is definitely going to complement the future of the company, because they have many subscription models to come, and they are also intending to develop their corporate business, which they provide transportation and all sorts of value added services to the corporates in Sri Lanka. And they plan to innovate in a way where they can support the entrepreneurial journey of many people. So moving on, PickMe is taking on many ideas from entrepreneurs, and apart from this, they also want to ensure the user retention and the platform stickiness. So the people, the structure, and the overall execution of the company. So the company strategy is supportive to its structure. if we are to evaluate more, PicMe has a flat and an agile team structure backed by a tech-centric leadership structure which supports rapid deployment and experimentation. They have also partnered with University of Moratua, which enhances the talent pool of the company and overall innovation of the company as well. And according to the annual report, they are drawing at least 20 to 30% of their employees from University of Moratua, the best graduates they can get their hands on, to make sure that the company has a good successful future of innovation. Evaluating further the culture and the leadership aspect of PicMe. Looking at the cultural snapshot and innovation integrity, the CEO of the company, Jeffrey Zulfer, has a leadership which cultivates an entrepreneurial and an ethical culture. The company knits around 9 key values. Of these 9 key values, I would like to highlight on 2 of the key values. So one is we imagine, we innovate, and we never give up. And the other is do the right thing always. So this shows that the company is trying to be innovative, they are being innovative, and they have the aspiration to be innovative, but not at the cost of doing the wrong things. So they have clearly made it clear that they want to do the best things, innovate, but in the right direction. So now we will also look at certain financial highlights of the company. Starting off with the revenue, they were able to draw a massive billion rupee revenue within the last year. So this is a 5.8 billion rupee revenue, which was an increase of up to 49% compared to the previous year. And also evaluating the net profit, the company was able to achieve 1.17 billion rupees in net profit, which is also an increment up to 72%. So we can see how the company has performed drastically well compared to the previous year. And the return on equity of the company is also at 54.12%. And the free cash flow of the company is 1.14 billion. And we are also looking at an earnings per share of 3 rupees and 51 cents. This clearly shows that the company is not only strategically strong, but also financially strong. So combining these two synergies, we can say that the company is heading into a bright future of strategy and financial strength. So one thing which we can evaluate further is the strategic risks that the company is facing and the challenges of the future which the company is going to face. So when we look at the risks the company is going to face, we can say that these risks include the global competition from players such as Uber, the rising regulations within the landscape of Sri Lanka in the ride-hailing industry, and the disruptive technology, because you will never know what kind of competition the company will have to face tomorrow. Technology is growing at a very fast and a massively aggressive rate, but PicMe is taking precautions. They are investing in AI, they are expanding their partnerships like PhonePe, what we spoke of earlier, and they are entering into underserved markets. So, strategy in motion. We would like to highlight the fact that the company is having a great way forward. We can see that. We have learned that and we have discussed that within the podcast that we enjoyed today. As a final touch, we will be wishing PicMe all the best, and we can see that PicMe can be considered as a masterclass in strategic agility, diversification, and digital transformation. Their strategic direction has proved to be going in the utmost correct direction. So that's about it for PicMe. Stay tuned for more stories from the world of strategy. Until next time on Strategy Cast, take care and keep thinking strategy.